Welcome back to Where on Earth, the channel that finds the geography behind the things you encounter every single day. Here is a question that seems simple but is not. Why do you eat what you eat? Not why you personally prefer one food over another, but why entire civilizations built their diets around specific foods for thousands of years. Why does more than half the world eat rice as a staple? Why is bread the foundation of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa? Why did the Americas give the world corn, potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and chocolate, while Asia gave rice, soybeans, and tea, and Europe gave wheat, olive oil, and wine? The answer is geography. Climate determines what grows. Soil determines what thrives. Rainfall determines what is possible. Mountains, rivers, and distance from the sea shape what a place can produce. And what a place produces becomes what its people eat. Today we trace the geography of food, where the world's great staples came from, why they grew where they grew, and how food geography shaped human history. Food 1. Rice. More than 3.5 billion people depend on rice. Over 90% is produced and consumed in South and East Asia. Rice thrives in warm, wet conditions with standing water. The monsoon rains of South and Southeast Asia flood river deltas and plains, creating ideal rice paddies. China, India, Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines all built civilizations on this geographic foundation. Food 2. Wheat. The Middle East, North Africa, and Europe built their civilizations on wheat. Wild wheat grew naturally in the Fertile Crescent, where mild climate, seasonal rainfall, and fertile soils made domestication possible. Wheat spread wherever temperate climates offered cool, wet winters and warm, dry summers. Bread is not just a cultural preference, it is a geographic outcome. Food 3. Corn. Corn, or maize, was domesticated in Mexico around 9,000 years ago. It spread across the Americas and supported great civilizations, including the Maya and Aztec worlds. After 1492, corn spread globally and became one of the most important crops on Earth, feeding both people and livestock. Food 4. Spices. Pepper, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and many other spices grow mainly in tropical regions near the equator. Kerala in India became famous for pepper, Sri Lanka for cinnamon. The Banda Islands of Indonesia were once the only source of nutmeg and cloves. European exploration, colonial empires, and new sea routes were driven in large part by the desire to control these geographically rare crops. Food 5. The potato. Domesticated in the Andes of Peru and Bolivia, the potato evolved for cold, high-altitude conditions. It grows underground, survives harsh climates, and yields many calories. When introduced to Europe, it transformed agriculture, especially in wetter, cooler regions like Ireland. The Irish famine revealed how deeply geography can shape food security. Then came the Columbian exchange. After Atlantic contact, crops moved between continents on an unprecedented scale. Europe gained potatoes, tomatoes, and chocolate. Asia gained chilies and corn. Africa gained cassava and maize. The Americas gained wheat, rice, and livestock. Modern cuisines were born from this mixing of geographies. Italian tomato sauce depends on an American crop. Indian chili heat comes from Mexico. Belgian chocolate begins in tropical cacao forests. Every meal on Earth carries the imprint of geography. Every ingredient has a landscape behind it. Every flavor has a climate, a soil, and a story. Subscribe to Where on Earth for weekly geography that explains the world in ways nothing else does. Because the world looks very different when you understand the geography of every meal you have ever eaten.